Yeah, it's running. Let me just get the URL. Alright, this is my live stream. Good. I just copy and post it on the Discord. And production news at everyone. Alright, get my Visual Studio back. Where is it? Here it is. Alright. Okay, welcome back everyone to the live stream. In today's live stream we're gonna implement a simple 2D renderer using BGFX, and I've decided to just use BGFX because it's I feel it's a much better solution than just writing Vulkan renderer, direct 3D renderer, metal renderer. Like everything is just bundled in one library is much better, and plenty of games use it. So yeah, so in this live stream we're gonna just make a simple 2D renderer, may draw triangles, render texture, etc. and so on. So I'm playing around with the shaders because I like a lot playing around with shaders. Why not? So if you saw the past live stream, you saw I had like a project called BGFX, and I had a source file, but I just deleted it. I want to start over, but now I'm gonna start with SFML to handle window input, event handling, loading files, etc. So yeah, so I'm gonna start by saying I need to tell SFML that we are linking statically, and we're gonna include SFML window base, make a main entry point, and we're gonna say sf window base window, create a window, give it size of 12080 by 7, no, let's say full HD, and title BGFX. Make a simple while window that is open, if or not if loop event window dot pull event gonna include SFML window event. Gonna say if event type equal sf event closed window close. Just check real quick. Alright, never mind. Okay, now we got a simple window, so we can build it and run it, and it works. So here we got a simple window, that's it, and we can close it. I want to just add a escape. When I press escape key, just gonna exit. So I'm gonna say events dot type equal sf event key pressed and event.key.code equal sf keyboard escape. Close ChatGPT Copilot. And now when we run it, escape key, and it exits. Alright, so now I'm gonna include the BGFX. I'm gonna initialize it. I'm gonna use DirectX. I like DirectX. BGFX initialize the resolution dot width equal window dot get size dot x. Same thing with height, and texture, height, and we're gonna say initialize the resolution dot resets. Gonna say BGFX reset non initialize dot platform data window handle window dot get system handle, and give it a type BGFX render type get direct3d11 initialize dot vendor ID. I'm gonna say BGFX PCI ID NVIDIA, and we're gonna initialize the library. Initialize. If it couldn't initialize, we're gonna just say window close return -1, and here we can just say BGFX shut down, and we can run. Alright, see, yes, alright, we got BGFX window and it's running. Close. Good. Now we're gonna display or swap the buffer, so we're gonna say frame, and we touch BGFX touch 0, and we will get the black screen, but I want just to write here real quick, set view clear, view ID 0, flags BGFX clear color, BGFX clear depth, color gray, let's just say gray, and BGFX set view rect 0, 0, 0, initialize resolution dot width, initialization resolution dot height, like so. Alright, and I'm gonna check if the window got resized, so we're gonna update the back buffer basically. So say event.type equal sf event resize, and you're gonna say BGFX set view rect to 0, 0, 0, event.size.width, event.size.height, and we reset. It's important to have it event.size.width and event.size.height, and BGFX reset none. Alright, now we can run and we'll get a black screen. Not black screen, gray. Okay, gray screen. Alright, good. Now it's time for rendering. So we need to create a triangle. I would like to draw a triangle. So I'm gonna say BGFX, or no, make a float array of floats, we'll call it vertices, equal, let me see definition of the float. I would believe it starts at negative 0.5 f and 0.5 f, 0.0 f, and the second point is 0.0 f at 0.5 f, 0.0 f, and then we say third point minus 0.5 f and 0.5 f, no, negative 0.5 f, 0.05, 0.0 f. Alright, and now we define a vertex layout dot begin add BGFX attribute gonna be position, number 3 of them, and BGFX attribute type, it's a float, and then just say end. Alright, now we're gonna create a vertex buffer handle equal BGFX create vertex buffer, BGFX make reference vertices, size of vertices, and we give the layout. Alright, what's up? We're gonna make another thing called an index buffer, BGFX index buffer IBH equal BGFX create index buffer BGFX, let me just say unsigned short indices, it's 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. BGFX make reference indices, size of indices. Alright, and we're good. The other thing we need to do is we need to create a shader. So it's gonna be simple, not that complicated. So we're gonna have create varying.def.shader code, and let's see, another shader for vertex shader, fragment shader, okay, varying vertex shader. In varying we would say gonna have vec4 be color 0, color 0 equal vec4, give it default value 0, 0.0, 0.0, 1.0, and then we say vec2 the text chord 0, or no, you could just keep it later, just say vec3 a position equal vec4 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0 as default value, and we say vec4 a color 0 color 0, and that's it. And in the vertex shader, we'll just type in, do you use AI to help you code scripts? Not really. If I want to search something real quick, like for example BGFX, I'm not really familiar with it. I'm not expert, alright? I'm expert in graphics programming as it is as a subject, but the library itself I'm not really used to it. So I need to search around, maybe in the reading docs, but if I'm too lazy, I would like to just tell AI to summarize what it says, what it's talking about basically. So no, I don't use AI when I really code. Sometimes maybe commenting on in my classes. I mean, they are good in those stuff. Just commenting about fixing bugs and fixing stuff. Not really. They're sometimes dumbass. So in the fragment shader, no, vertex shader, my bad. In the vertex shader, we're gonna say we're gonna have input a position, a color 0, and we're gonna output a v color 0 and a v color 0, and we're gonna say include BGFX shader header, and we're gonna have void main. The void main, we're gonna say gl position equal to vec 4 a position 1.0, and we pass the v color 0, pass a color, sorry, to v color. And yes, we're done with the vertex shader. Now for the fragment shader, PS4 files, yes, I believe I checked. It's just like assets file. Let me just see. Let me just check. Maybe I deleted it. PS4 dumps. So is it achieve? I mean, all I saw is basically assets file. It's just music, but there's no like source files. They're just like shaders, but they're not useful if there isn't like a way to interpret them, or like a source code that we can just read. It's just all I see is just assets, so it's not real useful. If there was something, no, just a small header file, it would be very helpful. But for now, it's just useless. So yeah. Well, let's continue. The fragment shader, we're gonna say input v color 0, like so, and we say include BGFX shader header, void main gl frag color equal to the color 0 as is. So this is just a simple shader, and I wrote already a way to build it. So I'm gonna just build it, and there's something wrong. Yeah, I missed a semicolon here, and Control C, Y, build it again. No, I just forgot to save it. Now, okay, there's an error. What does it say? Oh. Alright. It works now. So we got the shader. Now we're gonna load it from the disk to the memory. So we're gonna make a function that loads the shader. So we're gonna say something like this. BGFX shader handle. Load shader. Get the file name. Drop pointer. Or let's say string name. And we say file pointer f equal to f open name.c string, read as a binary, if not f return bgfx invalid handle, f seek f 0 seek end long size equal f tell f, and we seek back to the beginning. f0 seek set char pointer data equal char pointer m alloc size, if f read data 1 size f not equal static cast size t size, then we just say f close f and return bgfx invalid handle, like so, f close f, and we just create const bgfx memory pointer memory equal you can use Ghidra software reverse engineering to view files and code. I mean, yes, you could do that, but the code is I mean, it's just binary, like it's just assets file. It's not, there's misconception between a binary and assets binary and machine code. A machine code could be decompiled to understand the instructions. The instruction set, decompile it to C++ if possible using Ghidra. But binary assets file, they are just like images and those stuff. So basically you cannot tell Ghidra to decompile a PNG file format or PNG image. It will say there isn't like instruction set in that file, so it doesn't gonna compile it. So all of these data in the PS3 file is just assets. There's no source code at all. There's no .library files. There's no object file. There's no C++ file at all. But yeah, like Ghidra is just for decompiling machine code. So we're gonna continue. BGFX make reference data static cast unsigned integer size. Oops, I'm gonna give a function callback void pointer free pointer equal null pointer. And then we say BGFX shader handle edge equal BGFX create create shader memory, give it memory, and we say if BGFX is valid, the handle of the shader, we're gonna say BGFX set name, give it a name of the shader handle, we say name.c string. And why we do it, because it would be very easily for us to debug in the future if there's like errors and so on. Return handle. Alright, now we created a function that load our shader from the disk to the memory. So we're gonna use it right now. So I'm gonna say BGFX shader handle vertex shader load shader, give it a name, we're gonna pass in the file vertex shader binary, and same thing with fragment shader, and then we create our program handle program equal BGFX create program vertex shader fragment shader, and destroy the shaders. And in here we just say BGFX destroy our program shader, destroy our index buffer handle and the vertex buffer handle. Alright, now I believe we got everything. Yes, but one thing I forgot that I don't need right now, and it's I don't need colors right now isn't important at all, so you can just remove it, because just keep it simple. So we say vec 4 here, 1.0, 0.0, 0.0, 0.0, 1.0 source. Alright, now we're gonna render the triangle. So we're gonna say BGFX set vertex buffer handle, and we set the index buffer handle, and we submit 0 with a program like so, and I believe it should work. Nope. F open. Alright, it's not safe to just use F open, but I don't care. I'm gonna just say pragma warning disable for 4996. It works, and we don't see any triangle. Yes. I guess I need to set the state. Set state BGFX state right. Not right. BGFX state call clockwise, counterclockwise, I guess. Nope, still no, nothing at all. Let me just debug, or maybe need to compile again. Do it again. Nope. Okay, debug. Initialize, set view clear. Define the vertices. Layout, make reference. Load shader, program. I believe the vertices that I use isn't correct. You know what? For one time, I'm gonna. Why didn't 4J? Let me see the question. 4J Studio implements cross-platform play between consoles is it possible with code or not? I mean, it is possible to implement cross-platform between consoles, but the consoles manufacturers, or the consoles, or like PS4, Nintendo, Xbox, they don't really like the idea of cross-playing between two different consoles together because they lose money. They would prefer the idea to everyone just own their own consoles, and they play on their PlayStation servers, you know, so they make more money. But I believe now they bypassed it by redesigning the game from scratch and build it on a new version, on a new system, because the original system is meant to be played on, or meant to be built on every type of platform. It is possible, but the only way to bypass it is just to implement a new engine to bypass this idea that players who owns like PS4 just only play with PS4s and Xbox with Xbox, and etc. You got it. So technically they just decide to bypass this idea by implementing their own engine. Same thing like Fortnite. That the reason why there's a cross-platform like PlayStation, Xbox, is because they had their own system and they built the engine that basically just bypass the console owner, or not console owner, but the consoles manufacturers, basically. Like I said, Sony, Microsoft, and those bullshit guys. So yeah. I hope you understood my explanation. But let me just ask ChatGPT just for now. ChatGPT, dude, I'm just gonna ask it if my vertex is correct, because I believe I missed something. Is my vertices correct? Syntactically, but roughly like this. Oh, maybe it should be like this: 0.0 f, 0.5 f, negative 0.5 f. Gemini. Yeah, maybe Gemini better. But maybe if I describe it precisely, I'm using BGFX. Render vertices, option B. Set this, disable calling. Call none. I have call clockwise, center clockwise. Let me say none. Oh, there's no. Oh my god, there's no. ChatGPT start to hallucinate. Let me see. Check this one. Nope. Huh. Okay, that's start to get a bit weird. You know what? I mean, sometimes a lot of different graphics API has their own set of rules of defining vertices in a 3D space. So Direct 3D 11 has its own sets. OpenGL has its own style. So we're just gonna ask ChatGPT if it's correct. My code. You called view clear, but you never actually triggered the clear before drawing. No, that's some bullshit. Touch. This is bullshit. Set a viewport transform, and that's also bullshit. The render state is incomplete. Only set. Huh. Counterclockwise, depending on the coordinate system, can flip expectation. Share must match layout. Varying, we got position and a position. I mean, I wrote that before. Why does it complain? Let me check this one real quick. I believe it shouldn't work at all. Oh, it did work, but not the way I wanted to render the triangle. I wanted to be centerized. BGFX set right RGB, right A, right Z. Alright, it works. Okay, thanks ChatGPT. Alright, let me just switch it, fix it. I would like to see the learn OpenGL one, because it's the best example. Yeah, here it is. Copy and paste the vertices and run it. Ta-da! Alright, good, we got a triangle, finally. So now, let's add multiple colors to it. So we're gonna say something like varying vec for, or not, we got colors, right? It's defined in here. No, it's gonna be here. Vec for a color 0, color 0, as so, and in the vertex shader, you're gonna pass in. You got the input gonna be a color 0. Let me pass in it a color 0. And the fragment shader, it's correct, v color 0. So we're gonna compile, and we're gonna update source. We're gonna change some of the values here. So we're gonna give it colors. So we're gonna say 1.0f, 0.0f, 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 1.0f, 0.0f, oops, 0.0f, 0.0f, 1.0f, and this basically red, green, and blue, and we're gonna update the layout. So we're gonna say add BGFX attribute color 0, free BGFX attribute type float. Yesterday I played mini games on Minecraft Xbox One edition. I don't never seen anything like it since. Players spawn to start the party, but I have never seen this loading. It's a weird bug. played mini games on Minecraft Xbox One Edition. Don't know what happened. I've never seen anything like it since I got the game. It says loading script. I don't know. I mean, I don't really play the Xbox One Edition a lot, so I have never encountered this. Like, I don't think it's a bug. It shouldn't be a bug. It's, I guess, normal thing, maybe. So we're gonna run it. Gonna continue. Test it. See if colors appears, and yes, indeed it does. Colors appear. Gonna make a debug menu appear by toggling it. Bool debug false if event dot type equal sf event key pressed and event dot key dot code equal sf keyboard f3. Then we just gonna say debug equal not debug. Just toggle it. We say BGFX set debug BGFX. If it's true, then we say debug stats. Else BGFX debug known. Like so. Run it. Press F3 and it shows up. Alright, the FPS I'm getting is 2000. I used to get more, but because I'm playing on debug and I'm recording, it drops down to 2000. But never mind. It's a great FPS. Alright, so the second thing that I would like to do is playing with shaders. And before I do it, I like to make the triangle more like a quad or like a rectangle, so it fits the whole window and I draw on it. So we're gonna say something like, gonna define more indices for the quad that we would like to do the implement. So first gonna be 0, 1, 3 and 1, 2, 3, like so. And we just update the vertices real quick. Where is it? Alright, so we're gonna say the update one so -1 would be basically like so, right? Yes, gonna start, or no, shouldn't be negative. I don't really remember. -1, and then we're gonna say down, so it's gonna be -1 also. Just do this, try it out, see how it's look. It took time to initialize. Let me just think. So we got a coordinate system like so. You're gonna start the first triangle. would be, if it's this 90/20, then it would be 1.0, and second point gonna be just 0, or no, 1.1.0, and second point would just be -1.0 at 1.0. Third point would be a 1. Yes, and it's gonna be -1, and the third point would be basically -1, -1x, y, -1, as such. We'll just try it. Yup. Kind of. Didn't turn well as I expected. Is the vertices correct for the quad? Whoops. Almost. Zero, 1, 2. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Says -1, -1. There's gonna be positive. Nope. You know what, I would personally like to just quit with this old way. I don't like the way we define the vertices. I like to have to stay in a fixed screen size. Like, just gonna insert the position as a screen size instead of this world vertices, world view space. I don't know, call it whatever you want. So I'm gonna just make a function instead that just convert it for me. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna make just a simple class, or no need for a class, just say sf vector 2f screen to MDC. Gonna take sf vector 2f point float width, float height. It's gonna convert it for me. It's gonna say vector 2f result dot x equal 2.0f times point dot x divided by width minus 1.0f. And for y, I'm gonna say, well, I'm just gonna remove it. 1.0f minus 2.0f times p dot y divided by height, and we just return the result. Alright, so now we can just pass in the values directly. So we're gonna say, nope, not like this. Let's say 920.0f, and in here we'd say, no, here we'd say 920.0f, 0.0f, 0.0f, one 180.0f, and here 180.0f, and here just 0.0f. Just fix it like so. Alright, we're not done yet. We need to convert these vertices to the like screen space vertices to the correct vertices that direct 3D understand. So we need to fix them first before we create a vertex buffer handle. So we're gonna say integer count equal size of vertices divided by size of not vertex, size of floats, like so. And we say for integer I equals 0, I less than count I plus plus. And you know what, I start to hesitate a lot. Let me just encapsulate this in a struct, call it vertex, like so. As a vector 3f position, as a vector 3f color, like so. And we just say vertex should be like this. Alright, that's correct. So we got position and we got the color over here. It came back. Alright. Great, it came back. So we're gonna say vertices I dot position equal, you convert them screen to NDC, vertices I dot position window, not window, or yeah, window dot get size dot x, window dot get size dot y. And it's conflicting because this 3f and this is, yeah, just say 3f, and return 3f result.z equals 0. Alright, screen to NDC, and I believe it should work. Let me just put a breakpoint here. So we got vertices. Let me see the matrix. It's not a matrix. We're gonna update them to the corresponding size, right? No. Size of vertex, like so. My bad. Now, alright. Why in the world this is 1.0? It's gonna be 0.0. See, yes, it's working. We got a quad. Let me do it. Let me run it again. Cool. All right. It's time to mess with shaders. So I'm gonna say gonna introduce uniforms. So uniform is basically some sort of something that we just pass values from the CPU side to the GPU side. So we're gonna say BGFX uniform handle u time pass just time. So we're gonna say BGFX create uniform, name of the uniform u time, the type uniform type as vector4, such, like this, and we just say BGFX destroy uniform, nope, u time, like so, and a fragment shader like here. So I'm gonna say uniform vec4 u time as such, void execute script const char pointer script name, if string compare script name battles pawn battle arena, if string tumble on player spawn execute battle. What? Where did you get this the script from? It's not a script, it's just like a C file, a C source file. Void execute script const char pointer script string script name tumble, or no, it is script. Maybe it's just using Lua scripts, because there's no scripts in the program language C. But I don't know, like, where did you get it? Like, did you get it when you played the game for some reason? What? If you get it like that, then it should definitely be a bug. It shouldn't behave like that at all. Alright, we compile the shader. Now we can pass the time. So we're gonna create a clock. I'm gonna say here BGFX set uniform u time Who coded? Me? I didn't code it. I didn't understand. Ask who? Ask me? U time. Bro. Const float time for equal clock dot get elapsed time dot as seconds 0 0 0 0 0 0.0 All right. Your friend. Okay. I'm gonna pass in time. And yes. So now we're passing a value from the CPU side to the GPU side by using uniform. Now we're going to use that data in some way. So we're going to say multiply that data with time. And let me see what will happen. I believe we get, oh, ooh, koozie. Yeah, it is working. If I remove the compiler shader, we'll just get the colors as it is. But let us do some cool stuff with shaders. I like shaders a lot. So the first thing that I would like to do is just initialize everything in like variables. You know, vec2 res equal vec2 190 1920 by 1080. Vec2 uv equal gl frag chord dot xy divided by resolution uv equal uv times 2.0 minus 1.0. Alright. And let's say we make some spiral animations. Let me think. Let's say over here float spiral equal a plus r times 10 minus time, which I will define later. Time is just basically float t equal u time times 0.2 f. Compile it, and we got error. A float a equal a tan 2 uv dot y and uv dot x. Compile. R float r equal length length uv. Alright, good. Let me try it out. Let's see, do we get like spiral? Nope, I need to update the v color, bro. Let's see, v color 0. Let's say vec3 color dot r equal sinus spiral plus t times 1.5 like so. Duplicated RGB, say 1.1 and 0.9 maybe here, and color dot color equal color times 0.5 times 0.5. Compile the shader, run. No, forgot to update it. vec for color 1.0. Now hopefully it should work. 5. Oh, all right, we got some shaders. We got some spiral animation. He supposedly told me it was a script created by the player to teleport into the minigames. He dug into the PS4 edition code, succeeded using a program. I don't know. I mean, I don't have PS4, like Minecraft PS4 edition to test it out. So, I mean, maybe they are in the files somewhere, but it's not defined in file extension. There's no like Lua scripts. Maybe they created custom programming language and they implemented a custom script in it, but I honestly don't know. I really don't know. Alright, we gotta play around with so much stuff. So we're gonna say, let me just loop on this spiral. Where is the spiral? Here, let me say something like float intensity equal 0.0, float scale equal 1.0, float weight equal 0.6. I'm gonna loop for integer I equals 0, I less than 8, I plus plus. And say vec3 pause equal vec3 uv times scale times 0.5, and let's say t times 0.1. Let me comment this out. Let's say intensity plus equal weight divided by 0.01 plus d. Compile. Wait. Error. What does the error say? Identifier D. Yeah. D. Where did I define D? Did I define? Oh. Just remove it. Doesn't do much for now. I need to just update it. Color times equal intensity times 1.0 minus R times R. No, they compile the shader. Oh, okay. There's some progress. There is some progress. Okie dokie. You know what? I'm gonna try to add some mouse input. Let me try. Say something like, just gonna define it in the fragment shader, uniform vec for you mouse, and the source file, say const float mouse for equal sf mouse get position dot x, sf mouse get position dot y, sf mouse is button pressed sf mouse to add in the code this version. You would need to create a team of 30. Not really. I mean, I did do a lot of game engines. I mean, I architected game engines, and I didn't make a fully game engine like those Unity, Unreal, and those stuff. Those are definitely hard, but I made some pretty small engines that could be used to make small games. So I have the knowledge on making a fully standard architected application. So it should take a lot of time. Of course, it's a big project, but I got the reference. Like, I have the source code, the leaked source code, basically. So I don't need to re-implement the logic and those stuff. They are already written. I just take them and re-modernize them and just make it compatible with my engine. Basically, that's it. So there's no need to figure how does the system work, because everything is written and I understand it. So I'm gonna say button left and just let this be like so. Gonna create a new uniform, call it mouse. Mouse and semicolon BGFX set uniform mouse as such. So we're gonna play now with shaders using mouse inputs, which could be more better approach. So we're gonna say something like vec2 mouse equal u mouse dot xy divided by resolution mouse equal mouse times 2.0 minus 1.0 mouse dot x equal resolution dot x divided by resolution dot y, and we have float click equal mouse u mouse dot z. Alright, in here we're gonna loop guy intensity and say get position and I would say in here maybe float d equal absolute I'll make float chaos. Let's add some chaos. And we say pause plus vec3 mouse 0.0 and absolute chaos plus sinus spiral times scale and we just plus d and we just say scale times equal 2.0 weight times equal 0.5 f or yeah, compile a shader. And what did we do wrong? Spiral, spell it wrong. Control C. Run it. Let's see the result. Yeah. I like the colors. Looks promising. Cool. The colors is very good or very cool to look at. There's a lot of stuff that need to be fixed. Check is the mouse input works. I mean, I think I didn't use the mouse really that much. No, I didn't use it. Let me just do something like plus mouse. Maybe I will get some difference. Not really. I would need to add more stuff to it later. We just add another loop for integer I equal 0, I less than 5, I plus plus vec2 swirl equal uv times 1.0 plus j times 0.5 float d equal length vec2 sinus swirl dot x times 5.0 plus maybe t times I and cosinus swirl dot y times 5.0 plus t times I. Intensity plus equals 0.1 divided by 0.001 plus d or wait, didn't compile the shader. Alright, let me just compile it. J run it. Yeah, we got some stars. Starts looking much better from now. Well, let's add other stars maybe. Let's say float stars equal smooth steps 0.98 1.0 fractorial vec 3 uv times 50.0 t times 2.0, and we would say color plus equal stars times 0.8. I mean, I need to implement another function. Let me just make another function. We'll call it FBM. Float FBM. Take vec3 point and take float f equals 0.0, float w 0.5 for integer I equal 0, I less than 6, I plus, bro, I plus plus, say f plus equal w p times equal, as I include IOStream struct color float backend rendering as the cout drawing. Include IOStream struct color, render 2D public void draw rect, width float height color, simulation local, EP backend run. Try what? This? It's just doesn't render anything. It just print out character to the console window. That's it. It doesn't do anything. Maybe I think you just pulled this off from ChatGPT or Gemini or those AI bots, because it doesn't do anything like input output stream. It's just you're gonna output to the console window. Doesn't do anything. Times 2.0 weight times 0.5. Let me just compile it. Forgot. Need to call it fractorial in the FBM. Compile, and the warning, or let's call all control path return value. Oh, return f, my bad. Your friend coded that? Yeah, dude, this is this doesn't do anything. Like, it doesn't display graphics. It just print out. Oh, it's like the width is the size is width, and the size is width by height, and the color is what? Is by basically red, blue, green. I don't see anything. Honestly, it doesn't do anything. It just displays character on the screen. That's it. Uh, no, forgot to compile a shader. Run. Alright. Some improvements. But I like the way it looks. Do you guys? I'm gonna take my snooze. Gonna chill. Guys, imagine being high watching this. Yeah. It looks more like you're using Unreal. It looks a bit realistic, a bit. I mean, it's good graphics, nonetheless. It's like a good screensaver, better than those screensavers that we used to have in using Microsoft Windows XP. Those screensavers is bad. Alright, let me continue with that. One thing I would like to have, definitely, is instead of like when I compile the shader, I don't want to just quit the application. I would like to reload the shaders. So I'm gonna implement that. If event.type equal sf event key pressed and event.key code equal sf keyboard r. We're gonna say BGFX destroy our program shader, and we're gonna say BGFX shader handle vertex shader, or let's say vertex shader like so, and load shader vertex shader dot binary shader handle fragment shader equal load shader fragment shader dot binary, and program equal BGFX create program vertex shader fragment shader true. So now when we change something in here, I would just do it now. We got click. Let me see, what do we add? Let me say can improve the game engine to optimize it further and make it a better for server with 100 players if you succeeded. I mean, I will try my best to, like, the bottleneck right now with Minecraft is it cannot handle more than 100 player in like same chunk in the same word. So it's both in the client and the server side, so it's I mean, server side, if it was like paper MC, it could definitely handle it, but on the client side it will be a bottleneck. So I will try my best to do some optimization to it. So I'm gonna say float distance to mouse equal length UV minus mouse float wave equal sinus 2.0 times distance to mouse minus t times 10. Let's add some rings to it. Smooth step 0.2, 0.0, absolute distance to mouse minus fract t times 0.5 f. Let's add some flash 1.0 divided by 1.0 or 1.0 plus distance to mouse times 40. Let's add some explosions to it also. Equal click times ring times 2.0 plus flash times 1.5, and let's do some distortion. UV plus equal UV minus mouse times explosion times 0.3. Let's add some zoom 1.0 plus mouse.y times 1.5 UV time equals zoom Alright, let me update everything. Plus mouse.x times 10.0 plus mouse.y times 5.0. Let's say FBM let's compile. UV x times equal res x divided by res.y T. Zoom. I would like to get some syntax highlighting. I don't get it. It says there's an error in here. Thanks, dude. I'm now trying to fix this error that I don't really understand. Let me ask ChatGPT because I can't really work with no syntax highlighting at all. Mouse. Maybe I didn't save it. Now I'm getting error at mouse. Back to mouse. I mean, it's here, but what is up? Oh, semicolon. Nope. Same error again. Syntax error, unexpected UV. Why do I miss semicolon? Just do this real quick. To which line? UV zoom. Bro, more errors. Oh my god. Let me go back to my old code snippet. Bro. Let me okay, it's gonna take time. Okay, missed this. Should be like this. Alright, finally it compiled. Oh god. And the mouse works. Great. Wow. That's amazing. Amazing shaders. Oh god. You know, I'm a bit high right now. Hmm. There's gotta be some improvements. Let us play around more. Let me just do something like, yeah, it works. The deformation. Hmm. What can I add more? Hmm. Float stores. Let's see. We got the explosions, right? Color plus equal vic3. Say 0.6, 0.2 times explosion. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, boy. CF3 running 4000 FPS. Let's add some noise. first I need to get my hands on a hash float n return frac sinus n times, let's say, 43758.54, maybe, yeah, 53, and say float noise vec 3x vec 3 point equal floor x vec 3f equal frac x f equal f times 3.0 minus 2.0 times f float n equal p dot x plus p dot y times 57.0 plus 113.0 times p dot z. Return mix hash n plus 0.0 hash n plus 1.0 f dot x .58 and with 57. Mix f dot z 113, 170, 114 by 171. Dot y times noise p. I believe there's an error. Yes, there is an error. What did I do wrong? Alright, let's try it out. Yes. Alright. I mean, it's much better now than before. Yeah, I think it's time for bed. Alright, I'm gonna end this live stream for now. I'm gonna continue with it tomorrow. So, see you guys later.